Bones are amazing things. They hold us up. They support us. They make us strong. But bones have other uses. In the past, bones were thrown by diviners, seeking out the mysteries of the future. Now the bones are cubes, made of plastic or resin, but they still reveal things to us. As they fall from our fingers and rattle across the table, the story becomes clear. Welcome to Bone Throwers Theater, an RPG actual play podcast.
Hello and welcome back to Bone Throwers Theater. We are doing a special edition Kids on Brooms one-shot today. This is Johnny.
This is Jeremy.
My name is Aaron.
This is Jeff.
And I guess I'm the headmaster. I'm Jordan.
Oh, it's one of those games.
It's one of those Dumbledore. No, so Kids on Brooms is kind of...
Thought you were holding the book to show them.
I thought he was going to read the back of it straight off the...
I showed the microphone the book.
Here, microphone. Take a look at the book. See? It's beautiful. Actually, it's a quite lovely book. I'm really glad that I purchased this one in print. Because it like the colors on the inside, they use a lot of...
It's very comic book.
Yeah, I was going to say they use a lot of graphic novel tones and everything like that. And anyway, it is Harry Potter with the numbers filed off if you want to be crass about it. If you want to be a little bit more circumspect in your description, because legit I posted a picture of the book on my Facebook feed, and people from church thought it was off-brand Quidditch. They were sending me pictures of their nieces and nephews playing Quidditch at college. I'm like, no, it's not Quidditch. It's a role-playing game. So it is very much what's on the tin. Young people at school, and there's magic. So that could be the magicians, that could be Harry Potter. It could be a whole bunch of different stories, because magical schools are pretty The order, yeah. And
It's a common trope.
It's a common trope.
Yeah.
It's Sabrina the Teenage Witch. So it's not just Harry Potter. Harry Potter is a big one, but it's not the only one. And it's also, Kids on Bikes was the original, and then they've also done one called Teens in Space. So this is the third in the series of role-playing games. They're all standalone. They're all interesting, but you can tell that there's a theme.
Yeah.
I guess you could say Kids on Bikes is kind of Stranger Things-ish. Teens in Space would be almost anything. Lost in Space, Star Trek. There's so many different themes.
The 100.
Yeah, the 100.
The 100, yeah. We've already...
you mean Bone Throwers Theater.
We've already written that.
We already... Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the check. We appreciate it. Yeah, but anyway, it's a rules-like game. I'm hoping that my read-through was thorough enough to run it appropriately. The way that we start off is we're going to go ahead and create our school. And this is going to be a collaborative effort. And then we'll do character creation, and we'll roll into playing right after that. So, what would you like to call our school? It can't be called Pig Bumps. I'm just rolling that out right now.
Can we have Rona in the name?
We're not a virtual school, are we?
No. In fact, your parents hate you so much they got rid of you. This is a boarding school.
He's not saying that if you go to boarding school, your parents hate you.
So you want to work Rona into the name.
I'm just saying, it's a request.
Morona?
Sharona?
Irona.
Melrona Place.
Trogenous. If you've seen Gentleman Broncos, you'll get the joke.
It's been a long time. So here's another question. Where would you like the school to be located?
The Bronx.
The Bronx could be fun.
It could be.
It's a secret magic school in the Bronx. Doesn't mean that we all have to be from the Bronx. And that can also drive our school name, because
that's why.
Let's say we're a secret magic school in the Bronx. We don't want to have like Wizarding Academy in our name, but we might have something like Academy for the Gifted
Children. Oh my god.
Yeah, the Academy for Gifted Children.
Oh my gosh. The headmaster is not Professor X.
We need to decide.
But he is bald.
Yep, he is bald, and he rolls around in a wheelchair.
So the Bronx sounds good.
Are we in the Bronx?
I guess the Bronx is okay. Can't think of anything better.
All right.
Good tackle on for the Bronx. The Bronx. We couldn't think of anything else better.
Apologies to any residents of the Bronx who are currently listening to this podcast.
Is it a secret magic academy?
Yes.
Okay.
Secret magic.
So you are saying that magic is not a universal known
Correct.
at this point.
So where the school is located will impact the interaction of the school and the world outside of it.
The school is actually in an abandoned subway tunnel.
Ooh. I like it. I like it.
So for the school name, I'm trying to think of another word that we could interchange with magical. Another word that starts with M for all the outside people. That's sort of the name, but everybody who goes to school knows that the M in the name is for magical.
So it's an abbreviation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Musical. So like
The Mental Muscle Academy.
MMA.
I go to the school of MMA. Really? You don't look like a fighter.
Or you could call it the Bronx something academy.
Or the Bronx mathematical and scientific, where it's magical and spellcasting.
Magnet Academy.
Yeah, that would work.
Bronx magnet again.
Yeah.
There we go.
But then internally it's known as Bronx Magical Academy.
So the Bronx Magnet Academy. So the headmaster is known as
Theodore.
Okay, that's a great first name.
Theodore Joseph.
Teddy J. Is that what you said?
Or TJ. TJ to his friends. None of us are his friends. Theodore Joseph. That's the only question, is what is the headmaster known as?
Yes, our headmaster is known as, and he is known for. I would imagine it's some big magical thing.
Oh, so rather than like his sense of style, he's not known for
He
shoes.
He like well,
he has a shoe collection of like 85 pairs of shoes.
these are my.
They're all
20 league
identical.
boots. These are my 20 league boots. These are my emerald slippers. These are my.
Longest running headmaster.
I was going to say remote viewing. He can spy on you from anywhere.
So again, Professor X.
No, he can't read your mind. He can just see what you're doing.
Scrying.
Yeah, sort of.
So he's the preeminent scrymaster
Yeah.
of the magical world.
Yeah.
And this is the real Harry Potter question. Our favorite pastime is a magical combination of X and Y.
So it's a magical combination?
A magical combination.
I think we're inner city.
Well, it's kind of inner city because I imagine, you go into the portal and then it opens up into
Like the magicians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yes, but I immediately thought, I was like, well, okay, what would be inner city? And I was like, skateboarding and basketball. Hook.
I'm down.
Bangarang.
It's immediately where
But basketball is a good one.
So a magical combination of basketball.
Basketball and
parkour.
I like it.
Yeah.
So we are a fit school.
Yeah. Basketball and parkour.
So basketball and parkour. So I'm imagining like there are a lot of obstacles
Yes.
that you have to go through, like, and not just regular obstacles, but magical obstacles, like fire rings that you have to teleport through.
Lots of diving, jumping, and climbing.
Yeah, like gravity is reversed, so like you're running on walls and on ceilings and stuff like that.
Parkour. The Matrix.
Yeah, essentially. But you have to like get to different gates to like go different directions and stuff like that.
Yeah, that sounds
That's
fun.
cool.
That sounds really fun, actually.
The score starts at 100 and you have to the first to 0 wins. Okay, so the next questions, we're basically going to repeat these a couple of times. A notable landmark in the school is...
So, for the school, are we saying, because we kind of threw out that it's a abandoned underground subway tunnel station / thing, is that just like the magical barrier, but like almost
Like it expands. Like you
Like-
walk through it and you.
there's a real world
Place
place, but the magical world sort of extends beyond that real world place.
Essentially, yeah, that's what I'm
That's
imagining.
kind of what I was picturing. Because if we're going to play like large scale parkour basketball,
Parkaball.
we're going to need a place that kind of can stretch or bend magically.
Oh, the court might actually change sizes
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Wow.
That's part of during the game.
Yeah.
Court shifts at certain intervals.
Randomly.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're on the rubber floor.
Okay, what was the question?
Notable
Notable
landmarks.
landmarks.
Mysterious black onyx obelisk.
First thing I thought of was a burnt out subway car
Okay,
Yeah, that was
okay.
my first thought.
that's
too.
standing on end.
It's both in the Sobotel and in our magical.
Yes.
Yeah.
It like bridges the gap.
So burnt out interdimensional subway car.
Yes. Yep. You just said those words.
What is another notable landmark?
We had a hard enough time thinking of the first. Okay.
I thought that was a pretty good one.
That was a very good
Yeah,
one.
that's a good one.
I like the idea that something that's just completely magical. Because
Mhm.
Johnny was like some weird.
Yeah.
What if it were something that actually everyone knows exists, but nobody's been to it?
Is it something that you can see?
Ooh.
But you can't
You
get to.
can't get to it.
Yeah.
There's a statue like on a mountain top that you can see from the school, but you can never get to it. Like you can't even get to the mountain.
Okay, I like that. What if you could get to it, but there's something about it that I thought of, that there's a statue on the top of the hill, but there's this weird column of light that looks like it shines either down or shines up from that. But when you approach it, your concept of that light goes away. It's no longer there.
But you can see the actual statue.
You can see the statue.
Okay, I'll add this. When you walk away from it, you can't remember what's in the light.
A fountain of forgetfulness.
So basically, if you've been there, you never remember that you were there.
Yeah.
But it's known as the Fount of Knowledge.
So, so everybody thinks you can't go there because no one remembers being there, but maybe everybody's been there.
Yeah.
Oh, well, so we're talking about it being a statue, right? Like the monument to pure knowing. And you go up there, and it's a.
But what if when you're
It's a
actually
stat.
there, you know everything?
Everything.
And that's why your mind is erased. Because you can't know everything.
You know everything except for the fact that if you leave, you won't know everything.
Yeah.
Like it's protecting itself.
We do too much world building.
In reality, it's just a statue of the headmaster.
Made you look.
One of the most unconventional classes at the school that we have is
Tetherball.
That's the first thing I thought. For now, though, mathematics.
It's like you notice that like Hogwarts does nothing to prepare you for life outside of the magical world. Your only source of income is to go work for the Ministry of Magic.
It's kind of like what I was thinking college, and then you work in,
Yeah.
in the academics. Like you just, once you get your master's, suddenly all you're good for is teaching.
Yeah.
And then to go on for more school and more school.
Postdoc.
Yep.
Yep.
So
Like in real world
Yeah,
standards
I think
or
Magical standards.
magical standards.
let me take a look here real quick because we have.
We could go several different directions. with
Yes, we could. Synchronized swimming.
this. Bullfighting.
Oh God.
Gladiatorial studies.
Oh, here they are. Class schedule, page 36 of the book. Defense against malicious magic, history of magic, potions, divinations, astronomy, numerology, charms, brooms, summoning, and transfiguration, and of course, whatever we think of. So those are some of those courses.
So how they have a charms class, we also have a charming class. That's nothing but like etiquette.
Home ec.
So it's like how to interact with normal
outside
people.
world, yeah.
Yeah. But it's just called charming, and everyone takes it on accident. But since everybody takes it, nobody tells anybody else.
It's a required course, but it's not on the list of required courses.
That's a good one, actually.
Okay. I didn't know that.
And our second unconventional class.
We just listed like 500 of them.
Tetherball.
For those kids that are not really on the basketball parkour level.
Ball hootering.
Ball hootering?
It's a balderdash word.
Ball hooter?
A ball hooter is a lumberjack rolling a log down a hill.
Magical misconceptions and fantastic literature.
Sounds like an English class.
So it's looking like your Tolkien, your Wheel of Time, all of these.
So
How they get it
it's basically all the magic people poking fun at all how the mundane people have guessed at magic words.
Yes.
Yes. Throughout all classic literature.
Yes. Okay.
So,
I like it.
your final, your semester is divided up into quarters. Your final quarter is a discussion on the misconceptions of Reddit.
Or even like if you did like a final paper, you actually get to write a book. And if you get it published, you get extra credit, or to where you are now trying to write in the way
Misconception of Reddit.
Yeah.
The class is taught by
that paper needs to be a full discussion, full argument for which one of the authors was probably most
accurate.
And the class is actually taught by J.R.R. Tolkien.
No. Class is taught by David Paolini,
I don't know who that
the
is.
guy who wrote Aragon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never read it.
You don't have to. It's Star Wars with dragons.
That's what I've been told.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like this class. I would take this class.
Right? That's how we're all connected. This is all of our favorite class.
I feel like I've devoted my life to studying this class anyway.
Pretty much.
All right, so our school is called the Bronx Magical Academy, or Magnet Academy, depending on who you're talking to. It's reached through a portal in an abandoned metro station in the Bronx. Our headmaster is named Theodore Joseph, and he is known for being a preeminent scrying master.
So are dormitories at the school, or are they in the Bronx?
They're at the school.
But we have homes, air quotes, in the Bronx.
Families outside.
There is an exchange program.
Oh, God.
Yes!
I love it.
That's great. That's fantastic.
Our favorite pastime is a magical combination of basketball and parkour.
Yes.
Parkour.
That's different. That's where you're running from bar to bar.
It's more of a zombie shuffle towards the end of the night. Notable landmark in this school is a burnt-out interdimensional subway car.
These descriptions.
Right.
You step in and you step out, and oh dear God, why do I have a foot-long sandwich? I don't know. Another notable landmark is the Monument of Pure Knowledge, or Pure Knowing, which you walk up and it goes, made you look, and then you forget. Our unconventional classes are charming, parentheses, etiquette class, and also magical misconceptions in fantastic literature. Actually, we'll go ahead and say that in order to be eligible for the exchange program, you have to pass charming with an A.
Oh.
So the way that the game builds its characters, there is a quick process on how to do that. We've already started a little bit. So you would select a trope from the back of the book, and then you would make selections for your characters in terms of grade, strengths, flaws, familiars, and your first name. You'd introduce your character to the rest of the group. You'd answer questions about your character's relationship with the other characters in the game. And then you would select the finishing touches for your character. Motivations, fears, your school bag, your wand, your last name, and trope-specific questions. We've already gone around and we've decided on our tropes. So, Johnny, what is your trope?
I am the offbeat eccentric.
If you could think of one character from fiction that would describe an offbeat eccentric, who would that be?
Edric farthest.
Wednesday Addams.
Wednesday Addams is a good one.
Yeah, it is. Cliff from Cheers.
Okay. Jeremy, what is your trope?
I chose the trope of unlikely ally. I didn't think of character
Right.
that.
No, it was just a question that came to mind.
Okay.
Which
But it's
regular
a
places
good
in Brooklyn?
question, though. It is a good question. It's a good question. It's usually what I think of when I think of my regular characters.
It's actually a lot of fun to do that. Like come up with like a television or
Right.
fictional character that you want to portray, and then go from there.
Unlikely ally.
I kind of think of like in Stranger Things, the kid with the hair,
The
Steve.
kid with the hair.
Yeah.
Steve, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, he is on like the
He
ally.
was kind of the bully through the whole
He was-
chunk of the first season.
yeah. He had a major shift in character, and,
Yeah.
and by the third season, he's like,
He's one of my favorite characters.
he's a great character.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I can see that. But that's a good example, though.
Yeah.
Since I finished rewatching all of Boy Meets World, another good unlikely ally would be Frankie Stechino.
Yes.
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 That's a good example of one.
Yes.
Reluctant Oracle.
Reluctant Oracle. So you have oracular powers, but you're kind of afraid to use them, or you don't like that you can see things a little bit in the future.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially some of the things that I've seen.
Have you ever seen the old Disney movie, The Black Cauldron?
Yes.
Great series of books too.
It's been some
The
time.
book series are amazing. It's based off of a series of books called The Prydain Chronicles by Lloyd Alexander. And the series is actually based off of Welsh mythology.
Okay.
And the way that the first book opens up is that there's a pig named Henwin. And Henwin is
an
an oracular pig.
Yes.
And so she has like a whole, like they've got a whole bunch of basically beams that they've carved letters on. And then she goes and she snuffles at the,
Yeah.
yeah. So you're a pig.
Thanks.
All right, Jeff.
I have the charismatic slacker, aka Zach Morris,
That's a good one.
or DJ Detweiler from Recess.
You knew exactly who you were
Ferris
going
Bueller.
for. Yeah.
Yeah, Ferris Bueller.
Uh-huh.
Bueller.
All right. So next up, now have you made selections for your grade, strengths?
Nope.
No.
Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about grade. So there are a couple different options here: upperclassmen, underclassmen, and faculty. We're going to go ahead and eliminate faculty because of the story for today's one shot.
So do you want us all to be in all upper or all lower, or
No,
doesn't matter?
it can be a mix.
Okay.
So what are there's bonuses for them?
Yeah. So for
Ooh.
underclassmen, you automatically receive the innocence strength. When rolling stat checks, underclass students add +1 to their flight and charm checks as they're fast and likable. Each underclass student should write their favorite class in the space provided on their character sheet. Also come up with a name for the teacher who teaches that class to share later.
What are the upper class strengths?
Upperclass strengths are automatically receive the trained in ellipsis strength for casting magic using a strength of a trait of their own choice. So when rolling stat checks, upperclass students add +1 to their fight and brawn as they're pugnacious and in their prime. Each upperclass student should write their favorite class in the space provided. Also come up with a name for the teacher who teaches that class to share later.
Favorite class, social distancing and you. And so the classes also tie into some of your magic. It kind of talks about how they tie into some of your magic and your skills.
Okay.
So, for instance, defense against malicious magic takes fight, flight, and grit. And I don't know if you get to choose which of those you want to use.
My favorite class is charming.
Okay. It's a really easy one, man. You know.
Well, yeah, it's an easy one for
you.
me because I'm already charismatic.
I would assume if you're upper class, though, you might have already taken
I would assume.
that class.
Are you upper class or underclass, Jeff?
Well, if charming is a lower class,
Okay.
And you said we also have to get to choose a teacher.
Yes, for your favorite class.
I'm going with upperclassmen with advanced charming, and the teacher is Michelle Vance.
What's your?
If we were picking the same class.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Yeah.
Aaron, what's your favorite?
Numerology.
Numerology. Okay, that makes sense.
Numerology is taught by Neha Sharma.
Just so I know, male or female.
That sounds like a male name to me.
All right, that's Mal.
Okay.
It does.
Yeah.
in Hebrew?
My favorite class is potions. I'm an underclassman. Potions, taught by Jules Bunsen.
So, my favorite class is Defense Against Malicious Magic,
Of course.
taught by Meredith Gray.
Gotcha.
Male or female?
Female. Meredith? Your name is Meredith?
Go ahead and raise your hands to tell me who's an upperclassman.
All of them but me.
Okay.
I'm only 11.
So how old is an upperclassman? Like
Yeah, that was
16 or like
This is
27?
like high school?
I'd say 13 to 18.
No, underclass is 14 years old and younger. Upperclass is 15 to 20.
15. Okay.
Okay.
So,
So this is Neha Sharma.
This is actually a person?
Yes.
So I found this choosing baby names based on numerology. I mean, when I just hit Google numerology and names or something like that. And Neha Sharma in numerology reduces into the number 7
Oh, yeah.
as their personality, who they would be analytical and inquisitive, make great academicians.
Academians.
No, this says academicians.
Okay, just remember the source.
Researchers or scientists.
I mean, I do know that numerologists, like when they have children, they do specifically name they give their
Numerical.
specific number of letters in their names, and each letter is a specific count.
Yeah, and so like it even gives me how I can calculate my.
Yeah,
What your name number would be.
yeah, what your name number would be.
So anyway, the real world Neha Sharma is an Indian actress and model. I think she's mostly in Bollywood films.
I love Bollywood.
Yeah, she looked very familiar to me.
I love Bollywood.
All right, so we have our grade. You all have strengths based off of upperclassmen, lowerclassmen, but you also get 2 more.
2 more strengths?
Mm-hmm.
Also strengths based on your upper or lower class?
That's right. You said your upper class, is that correct?
Trained in is one of them, right?
Trained in is one of them, yes. And then also you get a +1 to your fight and brawn.
And what were the +1s for an innocence for underclass?
For underclass, it is +1 to flight and charm.
Right, what are the types of magic?
Types of magic,
Yeah.
you'll love this. Fight, flight, brains, brawn,
Those are the types of
charm,
music?
and grit.
Types of magic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
basically, what happens is like when you're going to do a magical thing, you roll the appropriate stat for it. So basically, if you're smart or anything like that, then you'd roll
Okay.
your brains to
Yeah.
like think your way through magic. So, like for example,
Okay, I just didn't realize those were the types of magic. So.
Yeah.
Because I was going to take the strength of studied in, which gives me a +3. Okay. Got my strengths.
okay.
I'm innocent. I'm handy. And I study and fight.
My strengths are trained in grit, treasure hunter, and lucky.
I already have the strength of cool under pressure and intuitive.
So next is flaws. If you haven't done that already.
Okay.
Once you selected your trope and age, choose from the strengths and flaws associated with that character's. Strengths are mechanical advantages that your character will have when playing the game. Flaws are not mechanical, but they'll help you develop your character's personality. Choose 2 strengths and 2 flaws from the ones associated with your character's trope. Or if you want to draw from the larger list, you may from the appendix.
Haughty and reckless.
And I know I want to be dishonest. Now, do I want to be spoiled or narcissistic? Spoiled.
My combination, though, I'm cursed and tempted.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I'm cursed and blunt. I'm a blunt oracle.
I like that. I like that a lot. Because usually they're all like, I have to be as cryptic as possible.
I failed charming.
I was going to say, if you were out just on the Bronx, somebody you know, they were like, see you tomorrow. Walk away.
Yeah, I like that though.
Okay. That's a good combination.
I'm afraid of mummies. That's my fear.
I'm an oracle with the fear of the future.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. Because you know what the future holds for you.
I've seen things. I have a fear of, let's say I have a fear of heights.
Heights. Okay. You're familiar There's a list of potential familiars. It's not all-inclusive, but they want your familiar to be small enough for you to carry. So, like a pachyderm will not work.
Pocket pachyderm.
Pocket pachyderm.
Some common familiars include birds, especially owls or ravens, cats, small dogs, frogs or toads, small rodents, or snakes.
If you're going with something unusual, be sure to get GM's permission. So I can't go with an Ewok.
A Mogwai.
Don't feed it after midnight.
That's what I'm going with.
What, Mugwai?
Tarantula.
Ugh.
Has lots of eyes.
Ugh. Dust Bunny.
Dust Bunny.
My tarantula named Dust Bunny.
No, that's my animal.
Oh.
My familiar.
Your familiar is a dust bunny?
Can I have a tarantula familiar? Okay.
I don't see why not.
I do.
I mean, actually, it would make a good familiar.
I mean, they said snakes.
Well, yeah. Me personally, I see a reason not to have a tarantula familiar. I want a gecko.
Okay. If he's having a tarantula, you can have a gecko.
You're gonna have your gecko eat my spider.
No, I wasn't.
They're about the same size.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I guess what kind of tarantula do I have? I have one of the bird tarantulas.
Those are even bigger than geckos.
Let's not research this.
It's not really a spider when it's that large, because at that point it's practically a dog.
Well, let's see. The birding tarantula is about this big.
Yeah, the Goliath bird eater.
Yeah.
Stop!
It's your shoulder spider.
It's his toupee.
So I'm gonna have a cool dog.
Hey.
Suave and debonair looking.
It's really a mix between a Pekingese and a Shih Tzu.
I was thinking more a Rottweiler.
It has to be something you can carry.
I can carry a Rottweiler.
My familiar is Tweety Bird.
Tweety bird? What kind of bird is it? An albatross?
A canary.
My familiar is a dog
Ostrich.
named Morgan.
My familiar Tweety
He just rides him around the
I
school.
like that. I like that. But the familiar is the ostrich I can ride around on.
Tweety bird.
I think that's a little larger than they imagined. I'll give you a cockatiel.
It's a canary.
Okay, can you? All right, with that, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be back with more right after this.
Have you ever watched an absolutely terrible movie and thought to yourself, what were they thinking?
Because we sure have.
So much so that we named our podcast after it.
What were they thinking?
Starring me, Nathan.
And Brendan.
Every other week, we take a bad to questionable movie and unpack it, so you don't have to.
And then every other week, we A your cues with our mailbag.
Or, talk about whatever.
Yeah, no big whoop.
No big whoop at all. But that's What Were They Thinking?
You can catch us on Podbean, YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and more.
On also a ton of platforms that Brendan made up.
All right, let's continue. Strengths, flaws, familiar, and first name. So I think everybody has a first name already.
Nope.
Yep.
I have a name.
I don't. Choose a name for me.
Alright. What kind of name?
Remember, he's an eccentric individual who likes to fight.
So let me go back to the numbers. What letter do you want to start with?
Q.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say you.
Alright. Here are your name options. There's a whole list of them, so you can scroll down.
Do you have? Is that a numerology calculator essentially?
It is a numerology name finder. So let's say you want your child to have the name that,
Means something.
yeah.
Quin. Quyn.
Give me a letter.
R.
Not Q.
Reginald.
Randall. Rickshaw.
Romulus is actually a pretty darn good magical name.
It is. Romulus Kardashian.
Rhombus.
Ragdoll.
Ragnar.
Ragnar.
Ragnar. Rock.
No.
If your lesson was rock, you would name your kid Ragnar.
No. Even better. One step removed. Ragnar Stone.
Raphael.
Because we are.
Because we're in the sewers.
Yeah, okay, I can see it. We all should have.
We really should have. I thought of my name before we were in the sewers, though.
Yeah. Or, variations of them.
Argon Marks.
My first name is Aderick.
Okay.
That's the theme for Bone Throws Theaters. There's the sewer and there's bodies. We did have the sewers briefly in Angel's Guard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did.
No sewers in Terra Proxima.
No.
So.
Didn't give me one.
Yeah.
Actually, there was. In the very first episode, Carlin had this guy feed his murder victim into the trash compactor.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, space sewer.
Yeah.
Spooer. All right, so let's go ahead and go around and introduce our character to the group. We'll start with Jeff.
All right. I am Argon Marks.
And your trope?
My trope, charismatic slacker.
Okay. And your familiar is a dog named Morgan, you said?
Yep.
Cool. Aaron, let's go ahead and move on to your character.
I am Aderick Lendra. I am a reluctant oracle. Am I familiar?
Yes.
It is a Goliath bird-eater tarantula named Therafosa.
Yeah.
How long has Therafosa been in your family?
Too long.
Therafosa is first generation. Like, when I met Therafosa is when I had my first vision.
Okay. Well, he also uses numerology.
Oh no, you have a bird-eating tarantula and I have a bird.
Jeremy.
My character's name is Raphael Tanner,
Okay. Trope of
a unlikely ally.
unlikely ally.
So, upperclassman, favorite class, defense against malicious magic. Taught by Meredith Gray. My animal familiar is a gecko. Strengths are trained in grit, treasure, hunter, and lucky. Flaws are tempted and cursed.
Okay.
I am Quin Bishop. I'm 11 years old. I'm afraid of mummies.
And you're an underclassman?
I'm an underclassman. My favorite class is potions, taught by Jules Bunsen. My familiar is Tweety Bird.
A canary named Tweety Bird.
Yep.
Very original. Did you enjoy watching mundane television as a child?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I still do.
Yeah.
That's my Saturday mornings.
In real
About real life.
Yeah. I had to ask. All right. So now, tell me about your wand.
Describing your wands.
Wands are on page 22. Wands actually give you +1 to different kinds of magic. The wood gives you like one kind, and then the core gives you a second kind of magic. So, for example, brains would be wisteria or hawthorn, brawn would be pine or oak, bite would be crabapple or dogwood, flight would be birch or bamboo, grit would be ironwood or maple, and charm would be lilac or cherry. And then the cores are pretty cool. And also, you can't have both the core and the wand wood for the same stat. It's got to be
So
Do they have to be different?
Mhm.
Okay.
they give you a +1. Is that what it says?
correct. Examples of cores. These are really cool, actually. Brains, parchment, phoenix feather or owl's feather. Brawn, gorilla's fur, ogre's fingernail, hippo's tooth. Fight, dragon's heartstring, wolf's tooth or elk's antler. Flight, hawk's feather, air or bat's bone. Charm would be changeling's hair, gold or mirror. Grit would be steel, diamond, or lion's mane. I would love to see a fight wand made with a plutonium core.
It's like a bad idea.
All right, so let's go ahead and go around the table, and we'll do this popcorn style
So ironwood
for fighting.
for fighting, and argon for charm.
It's noble.
I got a cherry wand with an elk antler core.
I have a dogwood wand with an owl's feather core.
I have an oak wand with a wolf's tooth core. Sounds like a fighter's wand right there.
And then brooms are really cool.
Oh. So when you're riding the broom, you get those
Yeah, when
extra
you're riding
benefits.
the broom, you get those benefits, and that's why you choose which brand.
Okay. That makes sense now.
So, like,
What does it mean by look?
If you go up a page, you see all those wands on the wall.
Well, yeah, but I mean...
What do you want your broom to look like?
I would love to see someone riding a broom that they got from the grocery store into battle.
The Y-head janitor's broom. Push broom.
Dust mop.
I went with the cunning captain's cruiser. It lets me have snap decisions as planned actions when I'm riding the broom.
Planned actions and snap decisions are a really cool mechanic.
Daredevil's Duster. Flashy. +3 to charm against witnesses of stunts.
The Daring Dodger, which gives me +2 when using my adversity token instead of +1.
Mine is the Valiance 2400. It allows me to ignore my fears of heights. Makes sense when I'm riding my broom that I need to ignore that fear.
Yeah. That's a good one.
So, school bag, I can read.
Yeah, the final.
The finishing touch is indicating what you have in your school bag, literally and figuratively. What items are you never without? Every caster carries these magical pouches with them, a lightweight, convenient way to carry around supplies. While not completely bottomless, they can fit small objects easily, magically compressing them so that they weigh less and take up less room.
So basically, this is our items list.
Yes.
And of course, we don't need like a super detailed bag of things because, well,
If it's something that you need, you'll probably be able to get it, or you'll be able to find someone who can provide.
I'm just listing the potions that I always carry with me.
oh, nice. That's a good idea.
You would probably have like your numerology book with you all the time.
Yeah, I have my chemistry book as the first thing I list down.
Now, do you use any particular paraphernalia
Like a small bowl and bottle of water for scrying,
maybe?
or a magnifying glass that lets me see over far distance. Yes, I do carry those with me.
Obviously, your broom, you probably have that with you if you want to do a lot of intercampus traveling.
I have a chemistry book, a small cauldron, fire stones, empty vials, invisibility potion, teleportation potion, and marbles.
Birdseed?
No, I don't carry that with me.
What do you feed your tarantula?
Birds.
Aside from the fears of your classmates manifested into reality.
You just let it go hunting?
Yes, but because it's not just a tarantula, it's a familiar. So
Yeah.
it goes hunting in the tunnels, for like the
So
subway
rats.
tunnels. So it's hunting rats, small dogs. That's frightening. A spider that eats rats.
Yes! We know how big rats can get.
Right?
So basically you have a pocket Shelob.
Yeah. Eats rats. Eats things that live in the sewers of the Bronx. So alligators, turtles,
Your spider goes back and forth across the barrier.
Russian drug lords.
Ate Splinter.
Tastes like pizza.
Oh, yeah. Just hope he doesn't find the ooze.
They really will be Shelob.
Aderick, I haven't seen you in days. All 8 legs flailing.
Okay. So now, in interest of time, we can do our short character relationship questions. We could do medium length or we could do long.
Let's do medium.
Okay. We'll go ahead and say that everybody knows each other. In the mid-range version of the setup, each of you will answer a question about each other person. Seating arrangement is not important for this version of character questions. We recommend this approach if you want to jump into the game, especially if you're running a one-off session. For a character you know, if you feel mostly positive about them, roll a d20 and answer the appropriate question from the character you know positive list. If you feel more negative about them, roll a d20 and answer the appropriate question from the characters you know negative list. So we'll go ahead and start with Jeff. Grab a d20.
All right.
Who do you want to answer a question for?
Jeremy, what's your character's
Raphael.
name? Raphael.
Okay. Positive or negative?
Positive.
Okay.
Are you an angry teenager?
8.
How did this character cover up for you when you made a big mistake?
I'm like, yeah, well, there we go.
Came up while we were in potions, and I caught the table on fire, and Raphael helped me put the fire out before the teacher noticed, and when the teacher came to see what happened after class, Raphael said that it was his mistake and not mine.
All right. So that is your answer for Raphael. Let's go ahead and move on. What person do you want to ask a question for next?
Quine.
All right. Go ahead and positive or negative?
We'll go with negative.
No real sibling rivalry.
2.
What secret do you need to keep from this character to protect yourself?
My dog killed his first bird.
Okay. What was your first bird's name?
Philippi.
Philippi.
All right. That leaves only Aderick. Positive or negative?
We'll go with negative. 13.
What forbidden spell does this character know you've been researching?
Oh, that kind of fits my character too.
Yeah.
He knows that I've been studying Curse of Forgetfulness. Like, true forgetfulness.
Why do you want to learn true forgetfulness?
So that I can do whatever I want.
For yourself or for other people?
It's also why he wants to go out into the real world.
I mean, this sounds like you want to learn the magical version of a roofie.
Yeah.
I mean, not necessarily in a rapist manner.
But more of a bank robber manner.
Yeah, more bank robber, or like for crime and for forgetting things that I have done.
Okay. We'll go ahead and move on to Aaron.
Let's start with Argon.
Okay. And you want positive or negative?
So is this supposed to be how I feel about the character?
Yes.
Negative.
See, and that's like...
And see, that's just it. And I'll be positive to all you guys.
As an oracle, how do I not have...
Because maybe you've seen that somebody does something very...
Positive for Argon.
Okay.
I like it.
Because you know something bad about him already.
18.
When did you realize you loved this character, either romantically or platonically?
When he helped me forget one of my visions. Platonically.
Ooh, good answer.
Right?
Good answer. That's how you know.
Okay. Who would you like to go for next?
We will go for Raph next.
Okay.
With a negative.
Okay.
6.
What rumor, either true or untrue, did this character start about you?
Oh.
These are really good questions.
They are. These would be good to use in other...
Yeah.
That I prostitute myself as an oracle.
How?
That I take money from people
For fortune telling?
Yes.
So you basically work at a carnival on your weekends?
Yeah, that I'm like, that I'm a fraud in that I will take money to have your future told. And I am very, very, very not like that.
So that's a false rumor.
That is a false rumor.
You had to do something that he did not like to get that rumor going. Anyway.
And then on to Quine. We'll do negative. 17.
What aspect of your academic life is this character making more difficult?
What's your favorite class?
Potions.
He's making potions really hard for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a class you would be very good at anyway.
And you're an underclassman.
Yes.
Ooh, I like this.
He is showing me up in class. We're actually lab partners.
How old are you?
I am 17.
I'm 11.
Yes. And this is my second time trying to take potions. That is how he is making my academic life difficult.
All right. Rafi. Or Raphael. What do you go by?
I like Raphael.
All right. Who would you like to go for first?
Let's go with
Argon.
Okay. Positive or negative?
positive. 8.
Ooh. How did this character cover for you when you made a big mistake?
Okay. What's your favorite class?
Charming.
Charming. Ooh. The final exam is an actual like demonstration, not a written.
Okay. Yeah.
And I had volunteered to take it first, and totally misread the instructions and totally bombed it. And using your quest for forgetfulness again, and actually made the teacher forget that I had taken the test, and I got to take it again.
You're evil.
Well, what is your description?
You get dark side.
Spoiled and dishonest.
Dishonest. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, no, this is it fits in the character.
You definitely get dark side points.
But we all like him.
I have a charm of 20.
He's a slacker. I mean, he's like, yeah, dude, I got you covered.
I got you.
All right, so that was your first one.
Yes.
Who next?
Aderick.
Aderick.
Tough not to say Edric.
I know. It's tough not to say Aderick too.
Yeah, I know. Positive.
Okay. You like these kids.
2 of them. 12. I actually haven't decided on the third one.
Oh no. Why do you feel safest when this character is around? For the guy
Not because of the spider.
Because of the guy who can tell the future.
I feel safest when this character is around because I know the longer we hang out, the less likely some bad things will happen in the future.
Okay. And then the punk. Quin.
Let's go with negative.
That's what you get for choosing the young.
Oh, I know.
14.
Why won't you be alone in a classroom with this character?
Lots of reasons.
Let's see. Because
You smell.
Quin thinks he's entitled to what everybody else has around him. So if you're alone with him, he thinks you need to give him everything.
He's a little grabby.
Yeah. And since one of my strengths is treasure hunter, I don't want to share.
So let me ask you this. Now, this is a little bit of a fine point. You made a rumor about him,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
but you still like him.
Yes. That will make sense once you read my questions.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yes.
You have multiple trope questions?
I have 2.
I have 2. All right. I guess it's up to me now. Let's start with Argon. Positive. Quin.
You're a little young for this question, but okay. This character reminds you of someone that you recently lost or left behind. Who is it?
Philippi.
The bird?
Uh-huh.
I remind you of your bird.
Uh-huh.
No, does that mean that you think he acts like the bird, or that every time you see him, you're reminded of the bird?
It reminded me of Philippi because Philippi likes to mock you.
Yes.
That's why you killed his bird.
Well, that's why Morgan killed his bird.
Yes.
Morgan is his dog.
Yes.
Next is Akiva.
Aderick?
Positive 13.
What magical event did the two of you experience that nobody else believes happened?
Do you mean magical?
I am reading the question verbatim, sir.
Oh! I created a potion that sent us back in time.
To win.
Not far, just like a day.
It's a little freaky for an oracle to get double vision, I would imagine.
Do I remember this event?
No.
And
if the oracle doesn't remember it and doesn't say it happened, no one else is going to believe it.
Alright, and
positive or negative?
positive 20 for Raphi.
What meaningful or important object did this character give you?
Fitting.
It's always asking for stuff.
Yes.
I'm going to say he gave me my wand, actually.
You guys are actually statistically built very similarly, so
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. You just have two things that are different.
Yeah.
And they're just flopped.
Brains and bronze.
Right. So, are we going to handle the trope questions? Do we want to do that now?
Yeah, let's
Or
go ahead.
has everybody done that?
I have not answered because I don't know if there's an answer for one of them.
All right.
do you want to choose another question then?
No, because I think that it's a valid answer.
That there's no answer.
Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead and answer them then.
Okay.
Jeffrey.
All right. My first question was, why don't you want to work as hard as everyone else seems to want to? I'm spoiled, so my answer is because I know that I deserve the best regardless of how hard I work.
Okay. A little trust fund, baby.
Yep.
What's your second one?
Second one was, what's part of your life where you do put in much more effort? I put a lot of effort into my charm and knowledge of the outside world.
So you're kind of like Mr. Weasley.
Yeah.
My first question is, what troubles have your visions prevented? The answer is none.
That you know of.
Yes, none that I know of. My second question, what confusing vision of the future haunts you? My grave, with a death date 10 years in the past.
Ooh! Dude! This is great.
All right, we're starting a new campaign. We don't have time.
All right.
All right. So keep in mind that my trope is the unlikely ally, and one of my flaws is cursed. Question number one was, why is it surprising that you are working with this group? It's surprising because of the curse, because most people I work with for extended periods of time become enemies.
That is your curse.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then second question is actually twofer. Why do they think you're working with them? And why are you actually working with them? They think I'm working with them to lift my curse. Actually, I'm working with them because I learned that if they remain friends, their families will die.
Okay.
If we remain friends, our families will die.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you're working with us?
Because of his curse.
Because of my curse.
We'll all become enemies
We'll
with
all
him.
become enemies. Everybody will split. And families will live.
Okay, cool. I get it.
All right. For my questions, first one is, what do you believe in that no one else does? Time travel. What would it mean to find out someone believes you? A co-conspirator to foil the past.
Okay.
I like it.
All right, we're going to go ahead and call that a wrap on this character creation episode. And then we'll jump on into the game, probably next week, if we all survive the spiders.
Get the one spider.
Thanks for listening!
Thank you for listening to Bone Throwers Theater. We are releasing this podcast under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives 3.0 Unported license. That means you can share the podcast, but please do not modify it or try to gain financially from it. If you would like to visit our website, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater.com. If you would like to send us an email, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater@gmail.com. Our Twitter handle is bonethrowerstheater. You can also look us up on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And until next time, may the bones fall ever in your favor. This has been a Nerd Circle podcast production.